Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach and lash educator and social media manager for salons and beauty businesses. I am so happy that you're here with us, ready to learn and grow and take your lash business or your beauty business up a notch. So go ahead and pull up a seat. We'll jump right in. Welcome to this week's episode. If you're new to the show, I'm so happy to have you here. And if you've listened before, welcome back. I'm really excited because I have a guest episode for you guys. Today, we've got Crystal Perez. She is the founder of International Lash Expo, and she's also with Butterfly Kiss Eyelashes. She's going to kind of introduce herself a little bit too, but Crystal and I connected on Instagram a while back. We did an Instagram live together about mom life and being a business owner. It was a lot of fun. We just honestly jived really well. I don't know if I like the word jive, but we got along really well and just connected, and we've talked ever since. So I'm just so excited to have her here on the show today, and we're going to be talking about International Lash Expo. It's coming up in September 15th and 16th, 2024. They also are having a show in March in Arizona. I don't know the dates for that off the top of my head, but Lash Biz Babes is the photo booth sponsor for their Miami event this month. So if you are going to the event, make sure to get your photo taken at the photo booth. Come tag us at Lash Biz Babes on Instagram with your photos. I can't wait to see all of your beautiful faces on there. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you can go grab yours with code LashBizBabes to get 10% off. And I think that's about all I have for you for our intro. So we'll go ahead and jump in and get started. Welcome to the show, Crystal. We're so excited to have you here. So if you first would just like to introduce yourself and tell us what you do in the industry.
Sure. My name is Crystal Perez. I'm the owner and operator of CP5 Enterprise. CP5 Enterprise is composed of many different small businesses, but most of you will know me from Butterfly Kiss Lash as well as International Lash Expo. And I'm just so excited to be here. We have a retail store in Phoenix for our lash extension supplies and merch. And then we are going to be having our next event through the International Lash Expo in September in Miami. And then we'll have another one in Arizona in 2025. And that is me.
Yay, I'm so excited. I think these events are so cool. And the feedback that I heard from ILE this past March, because that was your guys' first event, right?
Yes. So our first event was held in March of 2024 in Arizona. And it was such a great turnout, a great experience. And we really just wanted to do it for the community. And the fact that we were able to show up and make people excited and happy and, just feel alive within the industry again was just, it's all I could have ever asked for.
I love that so much. Yeah, I'm going to say the feedback that I heard from it was just nothing but good things. Every single person I've talked to who went to that event, who went as an attendee, went as a sponsor, or speaker, anyone, they just all had really good feedback from it. So I'm excited for you with your next couple of events coming up. So with that, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got into the industry?
Yeah. So the way I got into the industry is a little bit unique because beauty was pretty much the last thing on my radar. Um, it kind of just like fell into my lap and I kind of just jumped right in. And so my original background is in education. So I actually hold a master's in education with a credential in the state of California. And I absolutely loved working and doing what I did. I was a high school guidance counselor as well as working at the elementary school level as well. And I worked with mainly at risk youth, McKinney-Vento, all kinds of different populations that were underserved. And I was able to really dive really deep and work with a lot of really great families and a lot of really great students to help turn things around for them. And that was my first job and my first love, like when it became like me, doing my career. But unfortunately, with that, I was truly, truly married to my job. And when I first started that, I didn't have kids. It was just Carlos and I. It was perfect for that time being, but I didn't see myself doing that long term within that capacity just because I was there anywhere between 10 to 14 hours a day, constantly working. And so once I became a mom, things really shifted for me because I knew at that point I was no longer just an employee. I was actually a mom and I was a mom first. And I really wanted to have a career that was going to be empowering for me and to help others, but also to be able to stay at home with my little ones. And so, long story short, Carlos took an amazing opportunity where we had to relocate out of the state of California and to Washington. And that was that time that I was able to say, you know what, now's that perfect transition for me. Let's go full force into something that I could build that I'm passionate in and I could build, a small little empire for my little, tribe. And so that's kind of where the beauty industry started for me and lashing. And yeah, I think that's kind of where it all started.
That's really cool. And so did you already have like kids when you got into the industry or did you not have kids quite yet?
So Camila was just born and
Awesome.
I have twins. So Camila and CJ, they're only 12 months apart. And s
Girl, amazing.
Ar
For winning.
Arnold and I waited some time before we decided to have kids. We traveled a lot, we worked a lot, we played hard, and we knew when we got married, we wanted to do a lot of things that we knew we weren't gonna be able to do once we had children, or not be able to do, but not to be able to do as freely, and we just wanted to spend as much time together because we knew our lives and our relationship was gonna change dramatically once children became part of our lives. And so we really just had so much fun and we waited 5 years before we even started having kids after we got married, just because that was something that was like ideal for us. So I actually learned how to do lashes before I had Camila. And it was just one of those things that it like literally fell in my lap. Carlos knew somebody who owned an academy and it just kind of worked out that way. And I learned to do lashes before I had Camila. And it wasn't something that I even thought like that I would do full time, but it was just something that I learned to do. And then once Camila came, it shifted for me to say, you know what? This is something that I could do that I love and still be able to be at home with her. And so we had Camila, we had CJ, and I got full force when CJ was about 6 months old. So I had two under two. And then COVID happened. So that changed things again.
So what was that like getting started with lashing with these young babies? I mean, because I've been there too, and I know what my experience was like, but I would love to hear like what a little bit of what yours was like with that. Cause yeah.
Best thing ever because it was something that I knew how to do. I wasn't really good. I wasn't like a super great lash artist, but I got the job done, if that makes sense. And I really utilized that skill to kind of like trade services almost. I would lash my babysitters. I would lash the person who came to like my house. Like it was one of those things that was like, hey, you want this done? I need this done. We get to sit and be moms and chat and hang out. But it was almost like we were able to trade services. But it was, you know what, more than anything, it was a great way for me to make friends in a new location that I lived in. And so for me, I didn't really see it as so much like a job, but for me to have girl time and for me to have that release because being a new mom was really hard, especially having two under two in a brand new state with no family or friends to help. it was that time for me to take to myself to do something that I liked and I loved, but I also got to like spend time with people who were like me and wanted that same thing. And so it really just helped me see community in a different way.
That's really cool, and I think that that's super important as a mom to, like, have that connection and that community too, because especially when you don't have family or friends around, you need that support and, like, that village around you for sure. So, with it being a new place that you were living in and you didn't have that, family or friends that you knew, like, what was that like with building your clientele there? And like, starting to get clients in and like, okay, how do I do this? Because I feel like a lot of lash artists find themselves at that point where they're either restarting in a new place or maybe they're starting fresh from the beginning and they're kind of like, okay, where do I go from here? Would you have any like advice for them?
So the thing that changed for me significantly was COVID because literally a few months later, COVID happened in 2020. And keep in mind, I had just got started in like 2019. I would say everything got put to a halt, and that's when the product line was born, essentially. But what I noticed more than anything when it came to clients returning was all about that relationship and the fact that we built something and it was, something that they could like they were looking forward to. So I can't really give exact advice on that particular time because COVID had happened, but I could tell you now, just knowing what I know with all of the years of customer service and all of the years that I've done, the different things is building relationships and making sure that your clients bragging about you and are loving you because you provided them with this great experience. That's what it's about, is just as much as we want them to have great retention, we as artists need to have great retention with our customers and our clients to make sure that they're coming back time and time again. So building relationships, I would say, is probably by far the most important piece when it comes to returning clientele.
Absolutely. I think that that's so overlooked for a lot of people. We're just always worried about how do we get new clients in the door? How do we, how are we advertising? How are we marketing ourselves? And then a little less focus on like, okay, what's their actual experience like when they come in? Because if people aren't coming back, it's very likely to do with that. And like, if you have a solid, good experience and the connections like Crystal was talking about, I think that's really going to help you out for sure. So I'm also curious with your background and like being a school counselor and the communities that you serve there, do you feel like that experience has helped you in the beauty industry at all? I'm always curious of people who have like different backgrounds who changed jobs. Like, what was that like for you? And have you been able to utilize anything you learned from your previous work now?
So that's a great question. But to touch on what we were just talking about really quick, just piggybacking, I always tell all of my students and my customers, one very important thing to realize is the money in this industry is not going to be made by new clients. The money is truly going to be made by the retention of clients and your fill clients. Because once they're coming back time and time again, that's where you're able to, build solid books. You're just getting that relationship. So don't focus as an artist on getting new clients all the time. Focus on the ones that you already have, because those are the ones that are taking the chance on you and they want to continue to go to you. Those are the ones that you just need to love and polish and just make sure that they continue to stay happy, because really the fills and the returning clients is what's going to keep you in business. And so I think that's so, so important. You touched on it, but I think it's just so important for people to understand. Don't worry about getting new clients all the time. New clients will come in a form of a referral. And you want your clients now to refer new people to you and them doing it without you even asking them to, just by them doing it
Yeah,
because of the experience that they're having. But to talk
100%.
about my previous experience, I think truly getting into this industry and becoming a business owner, I feel like I have used everything that I've learned within my previous career, within my education, within the previous jobs that I have. And over time, like with maturity, I feel like I have learned more than anything to be patient. I feel like I've learned to adapt quickly, use problem solving skills to be able to identify problems and then identify solutions. Using my people skills and my customer service skills that I've had to use my whole life and all the different jobs that I have. I feel like all of those things have helped curate the business owner that I am today. And it's just based on experience, like just the things that I, did before. And if I didn't have those, I don't feel like I would be as well equipped as I am now, if that makes sense. So I think just all of my previous experience that I have, I'm thankful for it because it's really been able to show me my strength, my patience, my skill set. And like it's really allowed me to focus on what I'm really, really good at, but then also have the maturity to say, you know what, I'm not good in these areas. I'm going to need help. And I think that just comes with time and all of those things. I feel like having a previous career, having previous experience in something completely different has indeed helped shape who I am and the business owner that I am today.
That's amazing. And I think that that's really such like a beneficial thing to say because I mean, I know I've been in this position before. I don't know about anybody else of like wondering why am I not there yet? Why am I going through all these hard things? Why do I have to deal with these problem clients? Or even when I was doing training, was having problem students and like having all these hard things that had happened. But I can look back at those experiences now and say, like, confidently say, no, I don't think I could be where I'm at today without having learned those lessons. So I think it's kind of like patience and trust in the process of this is all playing out the way that it's supposed to. And all of these hard things that I'm going through, all of these difficulties and all these lessons that I'm learning are preparing me for the success that I want and to hit the goals that I want to, because that version of yourself is going to need that past experience to be able to get that to that point. So I'm really glad you brought that up.
And trusting, to your point, trusting the process. Everybody's at a different area, right? Like where I am is very different than somebody else. And some people may see on paper or think on social media that I'm at a different place. But in reality, I'm just going at my own pace. I'm doing what's working for me and focusing really, really hard on not comparing myself to others, as hard as it may seem. Focusing on my business, what I know, what I'm good at, and focusing on the customers and the clients that we have within our businesses and putting all of our energy in that and not worried about those outside like outliers. I think it's so important. And people need to understand that we're all at different places and you can't always believe what you see. You can't always believe what you hear. I'm a firm believer of if something doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. And that's what I tell myself all the time. If it doesn't make sense, it might not be all the way true. And I need to be okay with that and just stay focused and know that the end goal is to serve, my family, to serve my customers, and to make sure that at the end of the day that I'm proud of myself. And that's just so, so important.
Absolutely. I like 100% agree with everything that you just said. I always tell myself, like, if I find myself comparing, like if I'm scrolling on Instagram or Facebook, TikTok, whatever, and I start comparing myself to other people or wondering why, oh, I would love to do that. Why can't I hit that yet? That's when I know I'm like, I tell myself, okay, this is when it's time to log off because
Uh,
you just have to keep those blinders on and stay focused. And like, you're here to serve your clients and your people, and it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing or what they're saying, what their opinions are, all these outside things. Like you can't let those dictate the decisions and how we move and how we act inside of our business. Because at least for me, when I started focusing on my strengths and my audience, I'm like, oh, I could add value and help the people in my community. That's really when my business like took off the most. It's really easy to fall in that comparison, but I really appreciate like all the thoughts and the advice and insight you just gave there.
Thank you. And I think like I always say I'm not like super savvy when it comes to technology. And a part of me is really glad that I'm not because I could see how people could go down that rabbit hole. And it's scary because I think we're working largely with a generation that all they know is social media. And I'm a little bit older. I didn't grow up with social media. We didn't grow up with cell phones. Like I always make the joke when I was in school, we had phones, but to send a message was 10 cents and to receive a message was 10 cents. So let me tell you, my parents took that away real quick. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad up in a time where it was a little bit different, but I think that's put a lot of things into perspective for me. And I think it's real easy to fall down, those rabbit holes of comparing yourself. But if I could give any like big sister advice to anybody, it's you're on your journey that is right for you. And you just need to stay focused and just be willing to keep moving and knowing that you're going in the right direction because this is what is for you in your business. And I just think like those things are just so important to have that tough skin, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Definitely, definitely. 'Cause there's always going to be ups and downs. And if you can't navigate those sustainably, it's going to be really hard. Or even like pivot too, like that, it makes it difficult for sure.
Oh yeah, it's not all rainbows and roses over here. I mean, we're in Arizona right now, y'all, and my AC at my shop went out. And I can't get anybody till
Well,
Tuesday. And let me tell you, I'm having the hard time sleeping because I don't know what it could be and I don't know how much it's going to cost me, but that is going to be a speed bump, right? But what I could think of is I need to turn that around and say, wait, but I have a store that I could sell. I have a place that I can go to work every day. I have employees that count on me. And it's just like we're all handed lemons and sometimes they're sour, but you got to make lemonade and you got to figure it out. And so it's not all cupcakes and rainbows and roses. Trust me. There's days where I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you see me active on Instagram at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's because I'm not sleeping, but it's because my mind is running, right? It's part of the business. And as much as sometimes we want to turn it off, it's hard. But I have so many little ones that look up to me. I have a husband that has been so supportive, but he's very hard on me. And there's just so many things that it's like, you know what? We're healthy, we're doing it, and we're gonna keep it moving. And so yeah, it's crazy out there, but keep going.
that's how I felt this year too. Like there's so many ups and downs and so many difficulties. And it's like, okay, I could sit here and sulk in that and like feel bad for myself, or I can make the best of the situation and keep going. And like, which one's going to make me feel better? Because I mean, it really is that choice that you have, right? Also, I
Mhm.
did have to laugh at if you see me active on Instagram at 2 a.m., because that was literally me last night on it, checking things at 1 a.m. because I don't even remember what happened, but I was dead asleep, woke up, and for some reason, I try not to check my phone at night because it wakes me up. I get too distracted and then I like won't go back to sleep. But for some reason, I was like, you need to check your phone. And I had an email from Facebook that was like, your account, someone acts like accessed your account and like, we blocked it. You need to come answer these questions, change your password. And like, we blocked them out, whatever. And then I was, stressed about that at 1 a.m., trying to get it all worked out. But yeah, so
On
I had to
that
laugh at
day,
that because
yeah.
you just have those things.
Mhm. So yeah, so it's not unheard of me to be up at 2 or 3 in the morning because I'm up from a dead sleep and my mind's running. And I think it just, and it not is always about business. I mean, I've got 3 little ones under 6 and all 3 of them are starting school in August. So I'm like, did I get this? Did I get that? Oh no, did I put the towels in the dryer after I wash them? Like, did I put the meat from the freezer into the fridge? Like, it's just so many things, right? And it's just, as I think as women, we multitask and we wear so many different hats. It's extremely hard to keep up with things. But what I do know is I have a great support system and I need to utilize them and I need to say, you know what, I can't do everything. And that's okay.
Yeah, I think that's something that made a big difference for me too, was just understanding what my capacity is. Because I kind of sat down and thought about it one time or a few times of like, okay, here's all the tasks I need to get done, and here's the time that I have to do it. And it's like, well, I don't have the time to do everything. So how can I adjust my plate? Like these responsibilities, how can I outsource things, ask for support, like take some of this off my plate and say, I don't need to do these things because we only have so much capacity. And if you're operating over that for long periods of time, like sometimes I feel like you just have to get things done, like do what you need to do. But I don't think it's sustainable long term for sure.
Yeah, I posted my to-do list the other day, just random. Like, you know what? I need to just do this so I hold myself accountable. I cannot tell you how many DMs I got of like that, like shocked emoji or like OMG girl. And I'm like, guys, this is every day, but I just got to get through it. You know what I mean? Like whether it's signing up the kids for T-ball or editing something or taking product photos, like I have to get through it. And it may not be me checking it off the list, but it's like, hey, Cameron, I need you to do this. Or oh, hey, Carlos, I need you to do this. Or, hey, mom, I'm going to be 30 minutes later because I need to go do X, Y, and Z. And it's just, we wear a lot of hats. But to your point, yeah, just it's not sustainable long term. And it's like you have to be okay with delegating. You have to be okay with letting go. But more importantly, you have to be okay with sometimes you're just not going to get the list done. And that's what I'm learning is it's okay to not be perfect and it's okay to not get the list done because guess what? It's going to be there tomorrow.
Yep, that's me. I'm like, okay, what are my things that have absolute deadlines? Like, what is not flexible? And I'll try and get those done first. And then at least by the end of the day, if I am low energy, low time, it's okay to roll those over into the next day. But I'm glad you brought out all of the mental things of like, okay, stuff at home too, because I get that way too. I have to set reminders for everything. And it just reminded me when you said, oh, I've got to sign the kids up for T-ball. I had a reminder set for like, okay, I need to sign the kids up for soccer in 10 minutes, right? And it went off. I'm like, in 10 minutes, I got to get on and sign them up for soccer. Guess who you forgot to do that? I got distracted with business stuff. And so now, guess who is coaching soccer this season because she forgot to sign her kids up for soccer in time and they got on the wait. So,
yeah. So it's either you
yep.
be the or you wait to see if any.
Yeah. So they were on the wait list and I was like, well, I guess I'm coaching this year. So yeah. It's a funny story with that. It just made me laugh when you were saying that. But kind of switching gears a little bit here, I want to hear at what point was, because International Lash Expo, the event in Miami is coming up in September. I'm so excited for you guys to have this. I can't wait to hear how it all goes. How did this get started? Where did the idea of this come from?
So just a little bit of background. My husband has been in the business world for the last 20 plus years. And we own several small businesses, not just in the beauty industry, but in apparel and in different, areas. And we've gone to trade shows, whether it be for apparel or tech or jewelry or whatever it may be, whatever our businesses are. And we've gone to trade shows over the years, both as attendees as well as on the sponsor and exhibitor side. And we have really, really, really like deep dived into like all the different things that we really, really like, but then some of the things that maybe we're like, we would have done that a little bit differently. And when I opened my shop last year, we opened BK Phoenix in 2023 in June. And every single month, what we would do is we would have like a little sip and shop where we would sell tickets to the event. We would have all the, lash girls and guys come and like hang out. We would like serve food. We would have games. We would have guest speakers. We would invite other community lash brands to our shop to sell and showcase their products. And we noticed month after month, we were selling out of these events within a week, days even. We were having people buy tickets for the next event at the current event or 2 events after that. And they were just so excited to get together with like their lash besties and just like hang out and meet each other. And they just didn't realize that the community and the network could even be like that. And so we kind of made a joke at one of our events saying like, yeah, we want to do like a big event like here in Arizona. And we've been kind of like kicking the idea around, would anybody even attend? And they were like, sign me up. I don't care how much the ticket is. I want to go. A lot of lash artists like within our community, they weren't able to go to other big events due to many reasons, whether it's the travel, the financing, the fact that they were like single parents. They didn't have anybody to watch their children for days and days. There was factors that were preventing them to go to different events. And what we did notice though, is they were so committed to coming to our events because they built a network and a community with people that understood them. And we said, you know what? Like, what if we did something here for our community in Arizona and bring it to them? If they can't go to it, why can't we bring it to them? And I always tell, customers and brands and all the people that I interact with, like just being nice to people really just gets you that much further. Like kindness is free. We should just be sprinkling it everywhere. And when we launched the idea of, hey, we want to do this, we want to bring this to the community of Arizona, we just had brands and different boss babes like, I'm in. What can I do? When is it? How do I what's the details? It was almost like it all came together so seamlessly. It was just spectacular that people wanted to do this for our community here in Arizona. And one thing that changed in Arizona recently that I think was almost like there's a huge need for education here is here in Arizona, you no longer need to be licensed to do lash extensions. We have what we call an eyelash technician registration, and it's a 30-hour course that needs to be taken by a board-approved program, and then you're granted that lash extension license. So a lot of brands and a lot of, big influencers realize there's a huge need for education here because that was changing for us. And so it couldn't have come at a more perfect time, but it was just more than anything, something that we were so proud to be able to do for our community and bring it here and to bring it home for them. That once we saw a huge success, that we said, you know what, let's do something on the East Coast because there's nothing servicing the East Coast that's lash artist specific. And let's just do it. And so we took a huge leap of faith. The Arizona event was a huge success. And I think for our first event to have total approximately 350 people is pretty dang awesome. And we just said, you know what, let's bring something special to the East Coast because there's nothing there. And really just focus on diversity, inclusion, and making sure that everybody is feeling welcome and they're feeling heard and they're excited to be there. And so that's kind of where it started. I mean, just a mixture of like our experience, but also, just serving like what our community wanted. And people came together from all over the US, Canada, Australia. Crazy, but it's exciting. Puerto Rico, Mexico. I mean, it's crazy. And I think Carlos and I have really shown sincerity, and we want to do this for the community, and people see that. And they see that I'm trying to think of like just the work, just how passionate we are about just helping others and knowing that we're doing this for you guys and to bring everybody together. And so, yeah, that's kind of where it all started and where it's going. And I can't even believe we're planning our third event. And we haven't even been a year out of our first one, but the need and the want is there. And so, you know what, if it's there, then I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to take the risk because it's worth it for the community and to put a smile on their face.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not even surprised that you're planning your third event within, not even a year out from your first, because you guys do genuinely want to serve people and help people. I think that that's something that we shouldn't overlook. Like, if you're listening to this in your own business too, like, how can you serve your clients and do things to help them or your community, or if you're an educator, your students, your brand, your customers, and just genuinely want to help them, because I think that that's going to take your business so far. Like, look at all the doors that it's opened for you now, Crystal, like, and all of the events that you're getting to plan now, all the opportunities and the network it's bringing in, how everyone's coming together, because that was some of the feedback that I heard too, is that it was very diverse. It was very inclusive. Everybody felt welcomed there. Everyone felt like supported by each other. And that like literally brings tears to my eyes because I love that so much. Like, it's just so cool and it's so needed in our industry. Like, you just never, a lot of us have been solo for so long and it gets so hard, and you just don't realize how much you need that community until you have that. And so I think that that's just really cool. And I'm so thankful that you guys took that risk to do it. And also to take it to the East Coast, because that's other feedback that I've seen over the years too, is like, there's nothing for us over here, even just like laugh trainings and stuff. Or like, nobody comes over here. So I think it's just really cool. I can't wait to see how it goes for you and if there's any difference between your Arizona event and the Florida event too.
Well, it's so good that you mentioned that, because the inclusivity and the diversity, like I said, is so extremely important to us. And that's why we developed our program the way that we developed it. We have a one price gets all ticket, which means we want everybody to have a VIP experience. I don't want there to be tiers. I don't want individuals to feel higher than another. I want everyone to be on a level playing field and know that we're all in this together as a community. So that was one thing that was extremely important to us. One price gets all. You guys are all going to get a VIP experience if you come to our event. But number two is being able to, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Being able to cater to our audience and know that we hear you. And one thing that we're doing in Miami that's different from Arizona is 1/4 of our educational sessions are going to be in Spanish to cater to that population. Cause I know how important it is for somebody to learn a skill, learn a technique, learn a trade in their native language. My husband, his first language is Spanish. And just to be able to like provide that for people is just so important for me because I want them to know like you're here and you're investing in yourself and you're investing in your business and I see it. And if I could provide just a little bit of extra training to help make your business better, and it costs me nothing. It costs me nothing to do that. It's just so special to me to know that you're here because you want to be here, you want to learn and grow, but maybe you don't have the opportunity to learn in your native language. I want to do that for you. And so I think that's what's so important is knowing that we're able to help lash artists in all different walks of life, whether they're new or they're seasoned, to just hold their hand that much more and say like, I hear you, I see you, and I want you to succeed. Because what a lot of people don't understand as a brand owner, without the artist, we're nothing. We're nothing. We could train more lash artists and we can train, but that's not what it's about. Again, it's about retaining the customer, retaining the ones that have already believed in you and who have already invested in you to make sure that they're coming back. So it all really goes full circle. And so sorry to get so emotional, but like, I just see that there's so much need. We're all new business owners and we're all learning. Let's learn together and let's make sure that we make this experience the best that we can for everybody so that they know that they have built a community that of people that understand them and what they're going through.
Listeners here and all anyone who's listened to a past episode of Lash Biz Babes knows that I'm a car. And that's, we're real, we're honest and vulnerable and like raw in this show. And I just really appreciate you being willing to like open up and share those things. I agree with what you said. I think it's really cool to have people feel that like they're not just heard, but like, like you're saying, I see you, I hear you, but like not just to see and hear them, but you're actually acting on those things, right? Like you're actually taking in their feedback and saying, okay, how can we make this better experience for you? How can we help you be a better lash artist? And obviously it was a big need in the industry because look how fast this event is growing. And I'm blown away by it myself. Like, I just think it's really cool. And like, you guys are amazing for doing that. And I saw you guys were doing the Spanish sessions as well. And I feel like ever since I saw that, now I'm seeing all these other companies that are like, oh, we're doing courses in Spanish now, which I think is amazing. But like, it's just only opening that door to be that next step to continue to have brands take it even further for our communities and like continue to be inclusive and diverse and make sure that we are catering to the needs of everybody in our community because we're all in this together. There's a lot of seat at the table for all of us. And the people who are continuing to grow in the industry are the ones who are collaborating together. Like, how can we help each other, bring each other up, right?
Collaboration, like that's one of our key pillars within our program is making sure that our attendees, our exhibitors, our educators, our keynote speakers know that we're here to work together and we're stronger together. And we're still such a baby industry. We don't need to gatekeep. That's what's going to hold our industry back. And in my opinion, over time. Instead, we need to be able to, as a group or as an industry, we need to come together and identify problems and figure out how are we going to solve them. And one thing that I always say to people is a lot of people come to the table with problems, but no one's coming to the table with solutions. Anybody can complain about an issue, but no one is coming to the forefront and saying, hey, I've identified a need or I've identified an issue. And these are my 5 steps that I think we could do to make it better. And I think that goes with just being within different industries and just and my age and all of those things. But it's like we need to look from the outside in and say, you know what? These are what everybody's saying. Okay. But what are we doing to change it? Other than make funny reels about it or just talk about it or, whatever. That's what's going to, I think that's where people are going to really stand out within this industry. And people are going to stay stagnant is basically coming to the table with, hey, this is an issue. Like this is a current event within our industry. These are the things that I'm going to do to solve it. And I think that's where, ILE is going to come almost to the forefront within certain aspects, because I don't want to just come to the table with, this is the way that it's always been done, so this is the way we're going to do it. I really want to bring something new and innovative to every single event, every single time, so people know that even though I went to that event last year, it's not going to be the same this year, because we're going to find new things. We're going to find new issues, or we're going to find, new whatever, and make sure that we tackle it and say, hey, look, this is what we're doing as an industry. Like, this is what we're doing to, help offset those things. And I think I'm excited. I'm just excited to bring like good change to the light.
Definitely. I just have to take a second to just say thank you for doing all those things, and thank you for bringing those solutions to the table, because that's what's going to push our industry forward and keep us growing. Most definitely. So, just to kind of wrap things up here, like if you could give any advice or tips, or just say anything to someone who's listening to help them, and maybe if they're struggling in their business right now, what would you say to them?
So I always, like in my store, when I have artists come in, I always tell them, like, let me give you big sister advice. That's kind of my thing. And it's not because I've been in the industry for a super long time. I mean, our brands were founded in 2020. But what I can say is sometimes you just have to look at the glass half full. You have to look at what you have now, what's doing really, really good, keep that going, and then maybe work on the things that aren't going so good. So just kind of back to what we were talking about, identify the problems within your business and come up with those solutions. And sometimes that means working with others to collaborate to figure out what it is what next steps you need to do or what they've done. But I also think that means, going to different events. Doesn't have to be big events. It doesn't have to be ILE. It could be a small local event. But just get around like-minded people and let them know what you're going through. And I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be somebody in the room that's either been through that or are going through that. And you're going to be able to hold hands together and get through it. So, really rely on your peers, rely on your colleagues, rely on your mentors, rely on those people that you look up to, and know that you're not the only one going through things within your business or your career. And it's okay to ask for help sometimes, because it's not all cupcakes and roses, like I say. It's real things that are happening to real people. And maybe sometimes we just need someone to listen to us. And then for that light bulb to go off for us, like, oh my gosh, that's what I need to do. Maybe I just needed to talk out loud. We're all struggling one way or another. So don't feel like you're alone. We're all struggling with something, but be brave, be bold, and know that you have a community around you, someone around you that is willing to help you through it. And if you don't, you need to find that community, and just know that we're not doing this alone. Like, we're a village. Like it takes a village to raise a family. It takes a village to be a successful entrepreneur, a successful business owner. It takes a village. And just don't be worried that you're doing things wrong, because we've all done things wrong. And don't be worried that you may not get it the first time, because we're all not perfect. But just hang in there and know that if this is what you're passionate about, it's going to work out. And just don't give up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I've seen a lot more networking events like at a local level too. And
Yes.
so like if like Crystal was saying, like if you're struggling and you're having a hard time, those can be really great things to go to as well. And if you don't see that in your community, that can be something that it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like let's just all go to lunch together, right? Um,
Exactly. Get like a local group together to go to lunch. Don't be afraid to like reach out. Like if to your point, like if you notice that there's nothing on the local level and you want to start something, don't be afraid to reach out to like your favorite brand, or to like a lash artist that's an influencer in your area, to say like, hey, I want to do this. Because I know for me, like BK and Beauty in the Lash and Beauty Mob, like my brands, we donate to as many things as we can to just help, because I know so many people that donate to our event. Just don't be afraid to like reach out and say like, hey, I've got a group of like 4 of us that are going to go to lunch. Can you like send us something? Because we will. don't be scared. The worst that someone's going to say is no. And then you move on.
Yeah,
You're going to,
absolutely. You never know until you ask. And I mean, that's been a lot. Someone asked me once, like, how do you get sponsors for Lash Biz Babes conference? It's like, well, we do outreach. Like, we reach out to brands, and and you just never know until you ask. And I think a lot of people just overlook the power of networking and just connecting with people, because not only can that help you just not feel so alone, but like that might help you build your business too, and like grow like your clientele, or be able to grow in different ways, or maybe even have different opportunities that come your way. Because like I went to a networking dinner back in January, and not expecting anything out of it, right? Didn't know anybody except for one person who was going to be there. And now one of them signed on as one of my clients, and then they referred somebody else who's now like our biggest contracted client. And like
it's
it just
amazing.
it just go, it keeps growing and it keeps going. And so yeah, just definitely don't overlook the power of networking for sure, which is a huge part of like what events like International Lash Expo is, and just networking. And you might not think, okay, it's just other lash artists. It's not potential clients or whatever, but at the same time, like that can help you grow and have so many different opportunities as well, for sure.
Yeah. And I think we all, I always say this, we grow through what we go through. Don't let other people's bad experience hinder you from going to something great. Like your conference, if, for example, your conference is a great conference for someone to potentially start with that maybe is more shy, because it is a virtual conference. Like, but at least they could see like the value, you know what I mean? Like there's
Mhm.
so many gems that are being dropped within these sessions, and it's okay to be shy. It's okay. You, like I said, you don't have to go to big events. You don't have to go to any event, but do something like for you and your community, and like that all the different events. Like maybe if you're more shy, maybe try something virtual. Maybe if you can't travel, try something virtual. But I love your event so much because it gives, I can't even tell you how many stories I saw of people actively working on clients and then in the background had your conference going on. You're giving that
Uh,
flexibility and that freedom. You seriously found like a niche, but more importantly, like that you identified a problem that maybe not everybody could travel. And you were like, here you go. That's amazing.
yeah.
Doing is phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, and well, that's kind of exactly why I wanted to do it that way, where it was set up to be able to cater to solo lash artists and solo beauty business owners who may not otherwise have an opportunity to go to these in-person events. Because that was me. I didn't have the childcare, I didn't have the support, I didn't have the quite enough business to justify spending that much money to go to an in-person conference. And obviously there's a balance between, investing and the return of it and whatnot. Being able to have this event now that caters to people who want to do things, want to learn and grow, but they need it in an accessible way. And that's really, I wanted to help people who were in my shoes before, right? And so that's like kind of how that really came to be, for sure.
Yeah, what you're doing is incredible. And I'm so, so thankful to be able to be a part of, your events, and you equally be a part of ours, and just support each other, because I think more than anything, we're in this together. And I think that's what people have to understand. We're all in this together. And I thank you so much for having me. And you're just so awesome. From one mom
That's
to the next, we deal with so many things on the screen, off the screen, behind the scenes. And it's incredible that we could get together and just really just pick up where we left off.
Yeah, absolutely. And so before we end here, do you want to tell everyone like just a little bit about the event in September, or even the event next year, the next Arizona one, and where they can find you online and get more information about it?
I would love to. So, my name is Crystal. Again, I am the founder of the International Lash Expo. We have two events a year, one in the spring in Arizona and one in the fall in Miami. Our Miami event is September 15th and 16th in Miami, Florida. We will offer 40 different exhibitor booths, over 30 different educational sessions, with 8 of them being in Spanish, and limitless opportunities in networking and collaboration. We have tickets on sale right now for $449, but you could use code Lash Biz Babes and get 10% off your
Yeah.
ticket, which brings it down to about $405. We have payment plans available. It is a 2-day event, and you get all access to everything. There are no tiers. So when you walk in, you're going to get a welcome bag with lots of goodies, and you're going to get full access to everything. We have a cocktail party attached to the event. It's an all white party this year for Miami. And we have some amazing keynote speakers, some amazing educators coming from all over the world. And when I tell you all over the world, I'm not joking, like Puerto Rico, Mexico, Canada, you name it. We are so incredibly excited. If Miami's something you're not able to make, we do have our event that just launched in Arizona in March of 2025. And those early bird tickets are $299. And we are just so excited to do it for the community. And when you get there and you see everything, all of the blood, sweat, and tears that we put into the event, you'll understand and you'll see exactly what we mean by we love our community, because we're really doing everything for you guys. So I'm super excited. Lash Biz Babes is one of our sponsors this year. She's actually sponsoring our photo booth. So any picture that you take at our Miami event in our photo booth will have her logo on the background. And we are so incredibly excited. And that will be available both days to our event. And yeah, lots of good stuff. We're just so excited and just truly, truly, we just love our community.
Yeah, I am so excited to be able to sponsor it. And you guys definitely have to go get your pictures taken at the photo booth. Make sure to tag us or on Instagram when you get your photos. I want to see them. I want to go in person so bad, but I don't think the timing of it is going to work this year. So I will for sure be going to one of the ones next year. And I can't wait to see how it all goes. Congratulations on another event.
Thank you. We are so excited and we cannot wait to hear the launch of your next one too.
Oh, thank you. I don't have the dates quite yet, but it'll be in May 2025 next year. Yeah, I'm excited for that. This year was actually a little crazy. So I haven't
a lot of little milestones before that. You got braces off and you got moving into your new house here real soon. So let's get you.
Yeah, I know. It's a crazy year. I get my braces off in 4 days. I'm so excited. I've had them on for 3.5 years. And yeah, then I'm speaking in Dallas next weekend at Elite Lash Convention. And then we close on our house 2 weeks after that. So it's a little bit of a whirlwind. This past year with the conference too was a little crazy. The event was on a Saturday and a Sunday this year. And so we got done with the Saturday session, and Saturday night, my grandma passed away, and then had to wake up the next day and do the second part. So that was like so difficult. But you know what? It was really cool how everyone like came together and everyone was so supportive and then we had just had a great day. All of the feedback was so good and everyone loved it. So I'm really excited to get to do it again. And yeah, it's really cool what can happen when like you do have that community in the beauty industry, because everyone looks at it as something that's so like, everyone's out to each thirds and catty, but that's not the experience that I've had with it whatsoever. And it's just really cool, the support and the love that comes from it. So I appreciate you being part of that and being part of the event. One of our attendees from this past year is going to ILE Miami for free with her all access pass. So I'm so excited for her. She was literally so excited. So thank you so much for sponsoring and being a part of that.
We are so excited to be able to offer stuff like that. It's just so great. But Erica, thank you so much. This was so great.
So tell us where we can find you on Instagram.
So you could find our product page at BK Eyelashes. It's just at BK Eyelashes. And then for the International Lash Expo, it's at International Lash Expo. And luckily, we've been very, very lucky. Both of our names mirror our website. So it's at bkeyelashes.com or at internationallashexpo.com. So you can find us there. Do not hesitate to send me a message if it's something that you want to be a part of. Do not hesitate to send me a message if you need more information. We're just so happy to be able to learn together and grow together and just get the information out there to those who are, interested. And yeah, that's us. We're excited.
Yay, thank you so much. And I'll leave all of her links in the show notes below and make it really easy for you guys to go connect with her and go say hi, send her a message. And yeah, just thank you so much for coming on and sharing today. Really appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. And we will be chatting soon.